What's going on, everybody? Dots Gaming here, and welcome back to an old series of mine that I am going to be resurrecting through popular demand, and it is going to be PvP commentaries for Battlegrounds footage as well as Cyrodiil. Now, basically what this series is going to be is me watching back old gameplay of mine and basically commentating over top of it, but not from just like I'm just going to announce what I'm doing and what's happening. I'm also going to explain good things I'm doing, bad things that I'm doing, things, my thought process, things that I'm doing that I kind of just do second nature, that people who want to learn how to PvP maybe don't know about or maybe don't do. I feel like this way of explaining and kind of going over PvP is going to be way better to kind of introduce people to the thought process of player versus player, what you should be trying to do, since a lot of like what anybody does in a specific PvP encounter, it's going to depend on a lot of different factors and what's happening in that moment. So to try to make a guide on like, oh, here's how to, be good at PvP, I feel like it's either going to not do enough justice or it might be a little bit too general. Like, I do kind of have a guide that gives you a lot of general tips on how to improve and get better at PvP, but I feel that videos like this are going to do a better job at giving you some practical hands-on a hands-on look at what actually happens in a PvP encounter. So I'm looking forward to doing these. And guys, if you like these types of videos, be sure to smack a like on them. It makes it so that I know what content you guys are liking on the channel, what content you don't, so that I know what to really put my focus on moving forward. So we see at first this green guy kind of pinch in, and I put Ellie Drain on him, and he starts to dodge roll back, but I say that he's, taking a little bit of heat, so I kind of want to try to put some pressure on him. So I leap to gap close to him. I go through and apply all of my dots. This is one of the biggest things. I know I'm pausing super early in the video, but this is a fundamental PvP thing that new players to PvP need to really understand. PvP is the epitome of maintaining buffs and debuffs, maintaining your armor buff, maintaining sorcery buffs, maintaining damage over time skills. As you can see, I have all of my buffs for my character, all my character's debuffs on my enemy rolling right now. So I am maximizing the amount of damage that I am dealing to this guy. So I can go right into my light attack lashes, into a fossilize, into basic kill, because I had all my damage rolling on him. Now I started to take a lot of pressure from these guys right here. So as you can see, once we get this kill on this guy, I start having this purple guy pinch out. I have this one green guy up behind me, so I go into block, go into my healing package. I'm trying to use my skills, but they're not going off because this is the Elder Scrolls Online, so I use Mist Form to get away, reapply my armor buff to make sure I'm as tanky as possible, and get my heals back up. Now, I see this guy stepping up to me. I'm a little bit low, but I know he doesn't have CC immunity on him, so he does not have any snares, and because I'm running Flame Lash, I can go into a Power Lash heal. So I apply Burning Embers, and we actually, decide to go with the safe play instead of what I just said. So we step up to this guy, Burning Embers application, and get that dot and heal up. I realize I take a little bit of initial damage from him, and I'm like, okay, I really don't want to just get like insta-gibbed by this guy's Endless Fury. So we do swap to our back bar block and use our 2 heals. Now we're going to go into exactly what I said. We have our heal rolling, our armor buff rolling, and we have our Burning Embers. Do not have my major sorcery. I might have it left over from my previous fight, but I did not reapply that. Really should have. So we go into our stun, into our double whip for the heal, and this guy should be dropping to our dot pressure, and he actually dies to the leap, I think. I don't know if he actually was able to streak away. Let's see here. So we get on our stun, we go into the Power Lash, we dodge roll back just because I have this guy starting to attack too, and I don't want to overcommit to this kill. So I dodge roll back to basically kind of put both of these guys in front of me, and then I go into a leap. And I had to, I hit this guy, but the Sork streaked right underneath me as I leapt, so I don't know if he ended up dying to dot pressure or not. But as we can see, I start to fight this guy, and I instantly reset all my buffs. So we get the Burning Embers up, I go, reapply my armor buff, reapply Cauterize, reapply Degen, go to the front bar, Ellie Drain. We're going to try to get Engulfing Flames. We now have all of our dots rolling, into the stun, into the double lash, into he's dead as hell. So overall, not a bad play there. I think I probably could have gotten another lash onto that Sork to really make sure that that kill was guaranteed. I did choose to go for the safer play there and dodge roll to put both of those guys in front of me, as I didn't want to stand in between the purple and green players. So I think going with the safe play was not a bad idea, but I definitely could have gone more aggressive, I think, if I wanted to, and had been fine. Now, we swapped to our front bar without applying our Cauterize. not something I necessarily should have done. It's good to have that hot rolling through the fight. So first, little mistake there. We apply our LE Drain to our primary target. We get our Engulfing Flames up, hit them with a lash. The guy just dies. We go onto this guy. We hit him with the stun. We go into our lash to get the power lash up. I apply my debuffs and then power lash. This is something that I see a lot of MagDKs do, and it's a bad mistake. You stun, you apply the lash, and I see a lot of people just immediately power lash. Now, sometimes I like to hold the power lash to see if this guy's going to dodge roll or not, but I saw that I didn't have any of my other debuffs rolling, so I applied my Engulfing and my LE Drain to make sure that that power lash would hit for as maximum damage as it could. This guy starts to streak away. Instead of going to him, I just leap the guy next to me who's got like 5 health. I hit him with a lash afterwards, and he dies. So I start to reset my buffs. We get that degen back up, get the Cauterize back up, reapply LE Drain and Embers, as well as Engulfing Flames, lash that guy, and he dies. As you can see, guys, the buff and debuff applications to yourself and to enemies are incredibly important. We walk in, apply the LE Drain, go into the Engulfing Flames, go into the Embers, lash, bam, dead. We leap this guy, so because we have our ultimate, kind of want a little bit of resources back, so we do the double lash afterwards. I'm trying to chase this guy around. I reapply my armor buff, apply my degen, reapply my Cauterize, reapply my Embers, stun this guy because I want to try to get the power lash shield, but I start to take a little bit of pressure. So we do back off into our mist form, kind of trying to assess the situation, see where everybody is. So I'm kind of trying to back up enough that I can get a really good view of what's going on. We notice that purple team starts to push out. My team is dead. So I'm going to try to back up here and see if these guys decide to chase me or not. My magic is a little bit low, so I kind of want to reset this fight a little bit. Now, this one Sork from before does decide to follow me, so I apply my degen. I have my entire back bar buffs running, and I apply my LE Drain. So I am good to, once this guy peeks in, I am good to deal a huge amount of burst damage to him. So we go for a heavy attack into a leap, into our double lash proc. Now, I led him with the heavy attack because I knew the guy was going to pinch in, so I could get a little bit of that extra heavy attack damage in, as well as get that resource restoration. Combo that with the leap, we'd get a huge amount of resources restored, and we'd be dealing a good amount of damage to him, which is why we were able to take him down so quickly. So we walk up to see 2 green guys immediately. I don't really know if the whole team is behind them, so I decide to play it safe, go support my team at the purple flag. Unfortunately, my team got absolutely obliterated, so I see my one guy here. He's just taking a lot of heat, so I decide to go in and help him. I try to get the Engulfing on the group, pick out a target, and I start to apply all of my buffs and debuffs. So we go into the Embers, into the LE Drain. We stun this guy into the Power Lash. Should have had the Engulfing Flames up, but it's all right. This guy leaps the green team guy, and he dies. I go start resetting all my buffs because I start to take a little bit of pressure, and we end up wiping all the guys on the flag. So we take onto this Sork. Again, should have led in with the degeneration. Make sure that sorcery is up as well as that dot, but we did not. But the guy just ended up streaking away, so it really isn't the end of the world. Now, kind of trying to assess the situation. Where do I want to go? I know the green team is on my right, the purple team is on my left, and we kind of just see my team walking through the middle here. So I decide I'm going to take a roundabout way and come around this flag from the north side. I think that's the best way to do it, since we see that the green team is to our south, so that if we decide to go around this way, we will be pinching the purple team and not getting pinched ourselves. Now, when we do walk into this fight, though, we do see that green team is pretty much all but decimated. So didn't really have to worry about that, but again, the thought process is good. So we walk in, we apply our debuffs to this guy, go into a big leap, and just absolutely destroy this man. Reapply our armor buff, reapply all of our back bar buffs, swap to the front bar, LE Drain, stun, and I'm going into the double lash here. We do back out of his permafrost because he was having major protection during that time, and we are taking unnecessary damage. I do think that I used my stun lash a little bit prematurely. I should have applied my Embers and Engulfing, again, from what I was talking about, maximum buff and debuff uptime, because like you saw, we did it on that guy, and he went down. So now we are facing 2 guys. We have a Stam guy in front of us and a Magdin. Now, I guess I pull these guys away from the flag a little bit. I kind of want to just get them out of where they had all of their AoE set, because I think this Warden is placing down some grand AoEs. I kind of want to pull these guys out just a little bit from where they are. So I go into a leap immediately because they are grouped up. So we're going to go for the stun as well as the shield off of the leap. I did not get the power lash proc that I wanted, so unfortunately I have to play super defensive. So we go to our back bar, start to spam our heals. Now we know our potion just came back up, so once we come out of that mist form, we use our potion, reset our heals. I really need to reset that volatile armor, which I do not do, which is a huge mistake. But instead we go into the stun, into the power lash, because as you can see, I am using this pillar for LOS. So much of fighting when you are outnumbered is using line of sight to your advantage. So we go behind this pillar, so I'm instantaneously line of sighting this guy. So if he wants to come to me, he's got to come where this other purple guy is. So we're behind this pillar. resetting our buffs. We got fully healed up back to 100%. I needed to reset my volatile here, which I did not, which was a stupid mistake on my part. I also did not reapply my degen. Bad mistake. So we go into Ellie Drain, into our CC. Again, the reason I'm kind of trying to get to my Power Lash with as few globals as possible is because I want to get that hot running. Really probably should have also applied my Engulfing Flames and my Burning Embers, but again, that was my thought process at the time. So we go into the Lash, Power Lash, we now have that heal running, and I see that this guy's just taking a lot of damage, so I play really aggressive and just try to finish him off, and he ends up dying. Now we reset our armor buff on ourselves as we notice the green team starts to pinch in, so I hit this guy with a quick Fossilize into the Power Lash to get the heal, but I notice he's starting to get some support, so we're going to actually kind of peel back and assess the situation. We do have our ultimate, so we do have resources on retainer, so the first thing I do is apply Ellie Drain to that guy, into the leap, into 2 lashes, and he's dead. I could have hit him with the Engulfing Flames as well to make sure to maximize the amount of leap damage that I did there. But I saw that he was a little bit squishier, so I wanted to go for a quicker kill here, and so that is what we did. We kind of just wanted to get the breach up just to go straight for the big damage, get the shield, get the resources back, but really to maximize that tooltip, we should have absolutely gone into the Engulfing Flames. By the way, guys, I know I am commentating a bit fast. I'm just trying to keep up with the gameplay. I'm trying to make sure that my voice matches up with exactly what is happening. So expect some fire to be spit during these BG commentaries. So we start to take some damage, and I notice that is the entire purple team there, and they do have a Frost Magdon. So I know that if I just sit in their AoEs, I'm not going to be able to move or do anything. We also have the green team up to the north a little bit, so kind of really trying to decide what I want to do. So you say, you know what, a flag spawned by me. I'm just going to go take that flag. Should be able to get a little bit of aggro on it as well, since this is Crazy King. So we just reset. We just put on our self buffs on the back bar. So we have the Volza, we have the Cauterize going. Somebody is messaging me something. So again, we go into the degen first. Ellie Drain, Engulfing, which somehow misses. We get the Burning Embers up. We do the Coag to get our health back topped off. Stun, lash, lash. Just keep lashing the guy because our dots are running. And that Engulfing is not running, though. Really needs to be applied. But the guy just ends up starting to fall behind. So again, we see our buffs in the back bar are falling off. I tried to reapply my volatile armor, but because this is the Elder Scrolls Online, it doesn't listen to anything that I say. So we do reapply our front bar dots, though. Get that Burning Embers heal into the leap afterwards, into a CC, because we leaped right at the end of his CC immunity, so leap did not CC him, so we were able to fossilize immediately after that leap into a lash, into our hombre was dead. That is also kind of the problem, though, right now with ESO, with the ability lag being as bad as it is right now. A lot of times you'll try to go through your process of buffing yourself up, applying debuffs to your enemies, and going through your rotation, but the game just decides not to listen to you. So we have this guy come into us. We immediately get hit with the Necro Smash, so I back out of that instantaneously. Now, I know that I have major vulnerability on me, so I'm trying to just CC this guy, sit on my back bar, and block. Now, as you can see, my man here, hard overcommitted, okay? So as you can see here, we take a lot of damage. We're down to 25% HP. That major vulnerability is hitting us hard. So the second I noticed that, I swapped my back bar, okay? Because I know major vulnerability lasts, I think it's about 8 seconds. So we want, I think it's 8 seconds. Let me just double check here so that I'm not speaking out of my behind. It is 8 seconds, correct. Yes, and cannot be applied for another 20 seconds. So again, we dipped down to 23% health, so I know this guy's got big damage on me right now, so we got to play defensive. So we hit that Coag, we reset that armor buff. We get our mages, double check our major sorceries up, so we're getting maximum heals. Now, right when I notice that my dots are just ticking away on this guy, as you can see, I'm not hitting him. My dots are just ticking away on him. And he's not healing himself. He's just trying to overcommit for this kill on me. So what I do, once that Blast Bones goes off and I block that, I go to my front bar, reapply my embers, and just lash him once, and he's dead. So the guy overcommitted for the kill there. I recognized that he was overcommitting for the kill and had a feeling that he probably didn't reset his defensive buffs. He was probably just trying to spam his execute to try to get me to die. So I took advantage, and once I knew that I was in a comfortable enough of a spot that I probably wouldn't die to any more damage that he put on me, I flipped the script on him and went on the offense, and because of that, we were able to very easily secure that kill. Now, we notice our team's off to the north here. I'm going to see the green guy and a purple guy, two green guys and a purple guy running toward me. So we go into this green guy here. Again, we get the back bar buffs up. We start with that Ellie Drain, that Engulfing Flames, that Burning Embers into the stun, into the leap, into the Power Lash, and this guy's getting low, so we're just going to Light Attack, Weave, Lash on him. All of our dots are taking away, just absolutely taking away. He goes for the Purge. I'm not going to reset because he is low. We're just going to instead go for the CC into the Lash. Again, you don't always need to reset your dots. That guy had like barely any health left, so it's going to be way more beneficial for me to just go into a CC, hit him with some instantaneous damage just to guarantee that death. Now, again, we're going into this fight here. So, again, we apply the Cauterize, Volatile Armor, which is our armor buff here, as well as the degen on our opponent. We get our Ellie Drain and Engulfing Flames up. We go into the stun, into the double lash, and that guy just gets absolutely melted. Now, I start to take some pressure here, so we apply our heals, and I start to move into LOS via my Mist Form. Now, I know that I'm taking a lot of damage here, so we swap to our front bar, go into the leap for not only the CC, but the Battle Roar, as well as the shield. And we got, again, start to rotate through our buffs. We're applying the Burning Embers. We're applying the Engulfing Flames. That guy starts going into the Remembrance, so we switch targets onto the Necromancer. He goes for the Necro Smash, and we instead back out because we do not want to be afflicted by that major vulnerability. This guy, again, I know that's the same guy that overcommitted to me before. Odds are he probably was not properly resetting his armor buffs, and we took easy advantage of that, and we're able to put really, really quick damage on him. Now, the purple and green team are engaged, so I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity, go into a couple heavy attacks, and I see these guys grouping up, so I know this is a perfect time to get a massive leap. Purple guy will probably get executed, and these green guys are going to take big damage, allowing me to go into my offense. Now, my buffs, as you can see on the back bar, Cauterize is falling off. Volatile Armor has 1.4 seconds left on it. I should have reset those buffs before I left, but I did not. Something I could have done. I just kind of got a little bloodlusty, saw that purple guy low, and wanted to take advantage of the opportunity. So again, we start going into this Templar here. He is my priority target just because he's got the heals and he's got the Purge, and I don't find that other guy to be too much of a threat. So we go into the Lash. They're actually both Templars. We go into the Lash, the stun into the Lash combo, and take that guy down. It's just at the time I kind of felt that the one guy I was attacking, they're both, not like the highest CP. So it's just, I just started attacking this guy and noticed how much damage he was taking. So I had a feeling this guy was going to be my first target. So we get that degen up, we get that Cauterize up. We go for the stun into the double lash combo. I went for the double lash because I wanted the heal from it. Unfortunately, we did not get it from the off balance. So we again swapped to our back bar, reapplied our heals, went on this guy with the engulfing, with the Ellie Drain into the stun, into the double lash. This guy starts taking a lot of damage. I'm spamming a little too many lashes here. Really should be applying my dots. I'm trying to, again, commit to this kill and way too much aggro. Should have reapplied my Burning Embers and my engulfing and continue to attack on this guy. Templars can make your buff application as a Dragon Knight a bit of a pain in the ass, so, can be hard to kind of keep your dots rolling at all times, but it is something that you need to prioritize when fighting Templars. So we go into the Power Lash Shield, into the leap, because I noticed this guy's taking a lot of damage, and you know what? I said, fuck it. We're not going to even apply any more of our buffs. We're just going to go for that instant damage and take the guy down, and thankfully, we were able to. Definitely should have been a little more safe, I think, with my debuff applications. Overall, it paid off. The over-aggression did pay off, but it definitely in a normal situation, I would have definitely, hindsight, have gone the safer route here. So again, this guy's a Templar, so we know our buff application here is going to be a bit of a pain in the butt. So this guy's just taking a dickload of damage, though, so we just apply some basic buffs to him, or debuffs to him, and just go into our lashes. So we reapply our back bar skills. As you can see, let me go into this guy here. Maybe this guy isn't a Templar. Yes, he is. So we stun, lash, embers. I need to engulfing flames here, but we actually set him off balance, so we do go into a lash again. I see that he's low, so I just keep going into that instantaneous damage. Now, as we move on to this Stork here, we apply our armor buff, apply our Cauterize, degen, engulfing flames, Ellie Drain, and leap. Saw this guy's shields. I think we're about to drop here, as you can see. Let's move to that part of the clip. You can see their health bars at the top here. So I notice we hit this guy with the engulfing flames, and I notice he's got no shields on. So we want to take advantage of that and go into the leap. One of the advantages of Power Lash is that you can stay offensive for longer. If I was using Molten Whip, might want to consider playing a little defensive here, but thankfully, we had the Flame Lash, so we were able to go into leap. Plus, we got the Battle Roar, getting us up to 81% health, plus that large shield. So he gets CC'd. We go into the Lash, giving us big damage and a nice heal. We reset all of our buffs, and all of our buffs are rolling. So we're just going to go into that light attack, Lash spam, and he dies to our dot pressure. Overall, I've been very happy with how we've been playing this BG. This was actually this was a really good BG we had. I think we ended up finishing with like 21 kills or something. It ended up going really, really well. And I think it's a good example of when to, kind of push some aggression levels, as well as when to really make sure that you're buffs and debuffs are rolling at proper times. So we see the purple team here engaged with the green team. So I say, you know what, I'm gonna walk on over, see what they're up to. So we go in, we start applying the LE Drain to people. Before I go into this fight, I want to make sure that all my buffs are reset. So I go refresh everything, apply my debuffs to this ward, and he goes into his permafrost. I should not be spending any time really on this guy, but I am just like stuck on all this frost. So I go onto my defensive bar here and really just start to heal myself. I start dodge rolling around, reset all my buffs, and taking a bit of a pressure here, but I see that this guy's low. So I go into my leap to try to get the shield and the battle roar. But, excuse me, the battle roar and the shield, but that guy just ends up walking away. Don't want to overchase on him because I do have the 2 purple guys behind me. So, for example here, right, I know this guy's health looks low. Would have been a great target to follow, but I didn't want to leave my guy hanging out to dry here, so I tried to go back and help him with a couple cauterize heals. So I ended up healing him, and I missed for him behind LOS. So that's why I went back. Save my partner. Okay, so we missed for him behind the LOS and started reapplying the heals to ourselves. And plus, I just didn't want to get pinched by this purple guys. But now I noticed that that one Templar did come back to the fight. He did come back. So we got this Stork behind us here. I applied my Burning Embers to him. Oh, I did end up dying in this one. So let's talk about it. We have a death here. So this guy walks away. We spam Cauterize to try to get this guy a couple of heals. Just give him a little baby heal, just enough to kind of top him off. We missed for him behind the LOS. I did like that play. We reset all of our heals. I go into the Burning Embers on this guy to try and get that applied. I go for the Fossilize. And I was going to try to go for the Power Lash here. That was what I was trying for. And I don't think I should have. Because if we look here, right? I can see it. As soon as I step up, we got these purple guys right here. The fight started to move this way. I thought they were still going to be fighting behind LOS, so I thought I'd have the pillar to my advantage here, but I did not. So the second I step up out of cover, I just start getting peppered by the other guys, and I flop onto the ground. So what I probably would have done in this situation is I definitely should have hit Coag before I stepped out on this guy. I was kind of trying to be like, okay, I think if I go into a Power Lash here, I should be able to keep myself healed up. So I stepped onto this guy, and I probably should have stunned him if I was going for that line of logic. The Embers application was probably a bit unnecessary. And so when I step up here out of cover, I just get killed. So what I could have also done once I saw the flow of battle, because like you can kind of see it as I dodge roll this way, I probably should have moved to the left here. Stood behind LOS and fully reset my health back up to 100% before I went in on this guy. But I kind of just expected my healing to happen a little bit quicker. So because of that, we do end up finally dropping. So the thought process there, I don't think was bad. I just let a couple of little things get away from me, and those little things really did add up, and it caused me to drop there. But I think in that situation, if we had hit the Coag maybe before we stepped into that guy, it would have been better. If I had not wasted a global on Burning Embers and instead just went for the stun Power Lash, that could have healed me back up. Or I could have also just, once I kind of moved forward on that pillar and was on the other side of it, I could have just stepped behind it since the fight had moved past it to where I died. And I could have sat behind that LOS and really healed myself back up. So we see the green team standing here, and I'm feeling a little saucy. So we do walk up into them. I do get hit by a Blast Bones immediately, and I do not have any of my what the fuck happened to this guy? I don't have any of my buffs going, so I'm not really particularly sure what the heck I'm doing here. Let me watch that. We start walking towards this guy. Okay, we do apply our degen, but we applied to the Blast Bones. I didn't apply my Cauterize here, which was a bit stupid. We hit LE Drain. I swapped to my back bar because I see the Blast Bones coming, so I do want to try to block it, and we thankfully do. We hit the Coag. I should have, again, reapplied my Cauterize and degen. We did not, but we then flop. I guess these two guys must have absolutely obliterated this dude because he just got wiped off the face of the map. So we start getting attacked by this Sork. So again, we reset all of our buffs on the back bar. As you can see, we got everything good and ready to go. We apply our Elemental Drain to this guy we see over here. We leap him, go into the Lashes. We should be applying Burning Embers. Boom, going into that Engulfing Flames. Beautiful. It misses, unfortunately, because Engulfing Flames is the worst conal in the game. But we hit the guy with the Lash, and he does eventually drop. I think green team, unfortunately, is about to win here, so we don't have much time left in this battleground here. So again, we're taking some damage here from the green team, so we kind of start to spread. We don't want to be sitting in this guy's Grothdar. I'm starting to get peppered from it, but I reapply my heals, go into the stun, into the Power Lash, so I know that it's going to be able to keep us alive. He unfortunately steps away from me a little bit, but our other DK friend here is able to finally hit him with that last Lash, and he does drop. Again, I was a little lackadaisical with my buffs there, but thankfully, with Power Lash, I'm able to play around having that as a heal, so I was able to still stay a bit aggressive there. Now, we see this guy go in to flip the flag, and I know that if he flips the flag, the game will immediately end. So we step up to him with that Ellie Drain application that he does immediately cleanse off, and oh, this guy just gets fucking decimated. So we step up to this guy. We have our Volatile going. We really should be applying our Cauterize here before we step into this fight. But we do just walk up. We hit the D-Gen. We go into the Ellie Drain, which he purges into the Burning Embers, into the Engulfing Flames. Stun, Leap, Lash, dead. Very, very good textbook play. Really, really well done. Guy just got sent to the Shadow Realm. So we start getting attacked by some dude wearing Reliquin in PvP. Don't know what he's doing. We reapply our armor buff. Game's about to end. And it does. Overall, pretty good game performance-wise. Very, very happy with how we did. It was a really solid game. I think we actually topped damage as well, I believe. We almost had 1 million damage in this game, which was pretty sweet. 19 kills and 1 death. I think there was one guy that beat us in the damage department. But I'm really, really happy with how we did. Very, very good game. I think the big takeaways from this was that there was some buff and debuff maintenance that was a bit lackadaisical. Simply because I was playing a little hyper aggro and I think leaning too much into my Power Lash. But I think that if I had been a little bit more consistent with those buff and debuff applications, I would have killed people even quicker than I already did. It was also hard because there was a lot of Templars in this BG. So because of that, my debuffs were constantly getting cleansed. But that's really an important thing as a Dragon Knight when you are fighting Templars, is you got to really stay on top of those applications to make sure that your tankiness, sustain, as well as your damage is as high as it can be. So guys, that is going to be it for today's PvP commentary. Let me know what you thought about this in the comment section below. Like I said, I really do want to gauge your guys' reactions. If you guys do really like this series, I will absolutely keep doing it. But if it's maybe not something that you guys are feeling, then, you know, we'll do a couple of them and I'll go back on to something else. But if you guys really like these, again, show it some love. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and subscribe to keep up to date with the ESO content I put here on my YouTube channel. So thank you guys for stopping by. Appreciate it very much. As always, I'm Dots Gaming. I'll see you all in the next one.